Yeah, I don't have anything clever to start this one with, I'm not gonna lie. We missed rain to the south 2 days ago, rain to the north last night. I'm angry, I'm hungry, I need caffeine. Let's go. Morning. Welcome to a very gloomy, how about said Tuesday? Friday. What the frick? Oh, there we go. Sunglasses make everything better, right? Even on a cloudy, overcast day. Ooh, I know how to start this up. We got a surprise. Stick with me. What's that old saying? When the tuna's away, I'll drain the checkbook? Is that how that goes? A 936. So if you're unfamiliar with Fendts, that means their 9 frame, not their big frame, the next one down. 36, 360 horsepower. On the narrowest wheel setting I have ever seen. Look at this thing. We haven't even got to play with it yet. So as you guys know, our Deere 360 is down and out. I didn't even call Deere. I'm going to put this out there right away. I didn't even call my salesman at Deere to ask him if he had a loaner we could use. We got an amazing deal from them. Last time that tractor went down when we had to replace the transmission. I am very appreciative of Deere for that. This is here because when we went down to test out the swather, the salesman Rob pointed at the tractors and he goes, I got to get you guys to demo one of these. Well, we need to be ripping right now. Our tractors broke down. They're still waiting on parts. They've kind of got to disassemble. I'll go show you that. But I called Rob and said, hey, you got a 300 plus horsepower Fendt we can try? You said you wanted us to demo one. About 3 hours later, they showed up. I signed a paper saying we won't break it. They said put 20 hours on it. So far, we've put 15 minutes on it. We'll get more into that later. At some point, I'll kick Cameron out of it. He's over the moon excited to play with that thing, I think. But we barely got it hooked up, and it was time to turn some irrigation water on. And then my kids had the last performance of the year for my daughter, the last one she'll have at that school because she's got to move on to the middle school next year. So we had to go to that last night. Didn't get to play with that. I don't know where I was going. Oh, and so that's why we haven't tried that yet. See? Great. Now what? Oh, the tuna. He never quits calling on vacation. They're down at the Gulf Coast, trying to manage pivots from there. Whatever. Got more joy making fun of the fact Shedeur Sanders didn't get drafted in the first. He's a big CU fan. And a big fan of Dion right now because he's making CU good. So, any chance I can get to make fun of something to CU, I'll take advantage of because I'm a CSU. Colorado State Rams. We're wildly mediocre in a really bad conference. Anyways, back to the important stuff. So here's the front end of the tractor. Ain't it fancy? So, torsion dampener, or vibration dampener. Wow. Can you guys tell I'm not a mechanic? Comes off of this. It broke, worked its way back, and rubbed a hole in the cover. That little groove, well, turn the screen on so we know what we're looking at as I turn the camera away. That groove shouldn't be there. So, they had ordered, what all did they order? Was it this entire front cover here? I don't know. Either way, the first part they ordered was wrong. They had this at a different dealer, so they had somebody going to get it. While they're already here, they're going to go ahead and change out the water pump because he goes, 4,000 hours. We've already got it to here. Let's just go ahead and change out the water pump now. Possible preventing having to do this at any given time moving forward. So that's where we stand on that. That is why I called Rob at Redland and said, hey, can we play with that tractor? So that's why that is here. We did not buy it. I will give Fendt this. They are very, very nice tractors. That cab is comfortable. It's quiet. So quiet compared to these. It's amazing. Downside is, it is a very tech-heavy piece of equipment. Cameron and I are used to the tech side. It would take a learning curve, but we could get there. But the rest of the guys that get pissed off dealing with the tech in a John Deere, putting them in a Fendt, they would destroy something because they get so pissed off trying to push buttons. It is what it is. Let's go check on pivots. I will say the one interesting thing I heard the tuna say that really caught me off guard. They took off from a small regional airport about 2 miles east of here. He goes, we were barely off the ground and we started flying across all the pivots right there. They were already chopping wheat. But he goes, it didn't look good because it looked like they were throwing 10, 12 windrows into one for the chopper. And so I'm thinking they're abandoning their wheat to get corn or something else in the ground earlier, give it a better chance. We've got some wheat that it might be too late. We could get an inch of rain tonight and I don't know that it would help it, other than adding some kernels to it to try and help the yield there, but that's not going to add tonnage really. I think our wheat's kind of done, talking to our agronomist the other night. But I just found that odd that, yeah, here in April, 2 hours to the east and they're already chopping wheat. I'm hoping we're still good 3, if not 4 weeks out. We'll just have to see how it goes. We had a very variable sprinkle last night. At my house, the digital gauge didn't even register 1/100 of an inch. At the tuna's house, look, there was enough water running down this bar pit to float weeds. There was a big ass puddle back behind me at my pond. Puddle right up here. At the tuna's house, there was a few little puddles where I went, oh, hey, they got a little shower here. I'm going to say we got a couple of tenths here. Where the hell did this come from? The storms were all north. I'm not complaining, I'm just really confused what happened in the middle of the night. Okay, all the nozzles are still there, so that's good. Made it 2 runs, haven't lost any nozzles on that one. How much water we got left? Oh, buddy, we better speed that one up. It's not going to make a full revolution. That one's going to start sucking air soon. I've pointed out in other videos, and I'm trying to get around to see a bunch of stuff, so I'm not going to stop. So the 2 cylinders in there. The one feeds this guy. The one that was closer to us doesn't feed a pump right there. It just simply goes out the wall, around and down to where that pump is on the ground. Well, when the company that was putting in all the plumbing and everything did it, they put them up too high. And we said, hey, before we get a run of water, you guys got to get over here and drop those a foot. Well, they got the one moved and said they'd come back to get the other one because they ran out of time. And we're like, hell, I don't know if we need to worry about it because that's just going around at the time to a hydrant for flood irrigation. Well, now that we're running a pivot, or 2 pivots off of it, it kind of sucks because that one, you have to wait so much longer to start those, and then they run out of water when you could actually turn the other one on and let it run for several hours yet. Probably need to fix that this winter. Probably should have fixed it this last winter. But anyways, that one's about to run out of water. But the real reason I'm running short on water is because I let the voices in my head second guess what I wanted to do. So that water turned on at like noon. By like 6 o'clock that night, I had enough water to turn on the big pivot, but not the little pivot. And I was like, hell, I'll just leave them till morning. And then I heard that voice in my head say, no, you need to get one going tonight. You can't just let this set all night. I should have let it set all night. Fired them both up at the same time. That one would already be off. The other one would still be gone. It's just... I tend to second guess myself a lot. Because I'm always like, well, is this the right decision or the wrong decision? I always convince myself, no, what your instinct is the wrong decision. The second thought in your head is the right decision. And I tend to do that way too damn much. It usually bites me in the ass. And I just realized how many holes there are in this shirt. I think it's time for this one to go in the shop rag pile because it's disturbing. Okay, we're going to be on the cultivator again today. Cameron just left with the ripper. Remember, it is bird season. Bird season. Nesting season. Set the hood On that Fendt, you have to use the key to open it. And then you can't hardly see anything. Okay, that's still almost all cleaned up. You can't really see anything. Then he goes to check the oil. You got to squeeze between the fender and the tire. You guys seen how much room there was there. Probably not fat guy friendly. Them Europeans, they're little guys compared to us Americans. We're quite a bit rounder. So this has been years ago. My dad was on a cruise and got talking with this guy from Europe. He was an engineer for Kloss. And the guy made some joke about, yeah, when we started moving into the American market more, one thing we always got complaints about was there wasn't enough cup holders. We had to figure out how to put more cup holders and everything. Oh yeah. Look at that, I found my missing hat. Why do you pop up every day? And the alarm's gone. You hit OK, and the alarm shuts off, so clearly it's not that worried about it. Then going back to the whole Kloss thing and the cup holders, the first thing I said to the Kloss salesman when I climbed in that 990T chopper that they brought us to play with, I go, I can't even stretch my legs out in here. Now granted, there was 2 big guys sitting in there, but I go, this is like tight, like I'm gonna have to sit sideways to stretch my legs out every once in a while and look really over my shoulder at the truck. That was really my only complaint running that chopper. I love that chopper. Well, no, I had 2 complaints. One, we couldn't get the chop quality to compete with the Deere's. He was more of a combine guy. Maybe if we had a chopper guy there, we could have dialed it in a little bit better. But the cab comfort was not there. And I remember when I posted the video and talked about it on TikTok and stuff, everyone commented, Kloss is built for getting the job done. Deere is built for being comfortable while you get that job done. I kind of get what they were saying. I let Cameron run my tractor for 1 day, and he leaves me out of fuel. I couldn't help but notice this pole a minute ago when I drove by. Now, the tuna last Saturday wanted to mow. He did a real good job mowing all this mustard. Look at the base of that post. That didn't always lean like that. That used to be straight with that little box or tube. Huh. Curious. How will he blame that on one of us? Because he will. Especially when he sees this. So we've got 30 acres right here I'd really like to get done because that sprinkler is coming this way. And then we got to run it dry over to the wheat over there. What is that traveling billboard? I don't know. Anyways. I'm worried it might be a touch sticky. But we're fixing to find out. With these rolls, not this front one so much where it's got all the openings, but the back one where it is a solid roll, it is very easy for mud to build up on them. But if it doesn't get any worse than it is right there, I think we'll be okay. Let's find out. Alright, we've made a handful of passes, and what I've come up with is we got just enough moisture that I can actually see what I'm doing for the first time in 4 days. I don't know if that's good or bad. I kind of liked it when I couldn't see what I was doing, because then I could pretend like there was never a problem. Now I know if there's a problem. So far not, but I'm sure at some point I'll notice a problem. It's moments like this I wish the camera could zoom in. I'm sitting there watching Bart and Glenn do their own equipment shuffle over there at the hay shed. I see chopper number 2 outside with a pickup head on. I think I pointed that out. I told you guys when I did the equipment shuffle here a couple weeks ago, I had my chopper with my header saying it's ready to go and all this and that. And chopper number 2 we're just going to leave alone. And then later that day we decided we're actually going to use chopper number 2 the most, because if we get rid of one, that would be the one we'd want to get rid of. So I did all that overthinking and shuffling for no reason. because they just had to reshuffle everything around to get everything active. But they got an air compressor behind Glenn's pickup and then a chopper. Curious what the plan is. Cameron just called. He's ripping some hard ground. And he goes, honestly, I feel like this tractor is pulling better than the Deere. I don't know what the weight difference is between the two. The AGCO guys said the way Deere's engines are set up for the way it'll boost itself, you know, pulling wise, it should have more power than them. But I don't know what the difference is weight wise to make a difference in pulling. But he goes, I'm really liking this tractor. It's pulling great. All this and that. Then he looks at the GPS screen. He goes, but Trimble still sucks ass. Actually, no, that's not Trimble. Wouldn't that be TopCon? Isn't AGCO TopCon? Trimble is Case, I thought. Oh man, his joke wasn't even accurate. I got Green Star. I'm happy. Scratch off another 30 acres. That one's done. Fold up, take it to the shed. Go see what the guys at the shop are doing. Then I might go kick Cameron out of his tractor. It's almost 11. I was told I was getting a late lunch today by Kayla, so I'll send him to lunch early and take over. I want to play with the spaceship. He's got the heater on in here. It's warm. So when I said this thing is a spaceship, I wasn't joking. Look at all these buttons. And there's buttons on the back of this. Alright, I'm going to spend a moment here figuring out all the switches before I get going. This old hay ground rips so damn hard. So, I don't know how he's got this all set up. He's got tiny little lines because he was having hell with it. Again, not a huge fan of the GPS. We knew that when we were going to demo it. I don't feel like working it crazy hard. He's going to be out of depth by the end of the day. But yeah, so these screens, there's a billion options. Basically anything you see, if you just click on it, it'll bring it up full screen. And then if you want that one gone, you just hit it and it'll disappear into the ceiling. And then he was telling me the radio is actually in the screen too. But yeah, this is your hydraulic controls. So forward and back right now is forward or raise and lower on the ripper. This thing, you pull a trigger on the back and push forward or pull back to switch from forward reverse. It's quite the technological amazing machine, but I don't know. It just worries me that there's too much tech in it. But I want you to notice how quiet this cab is. That is the one thing I was amazed by. The friggin' leg room in here. I mean, I'm 6'2" and I can't even touch that wall or the front up there. I need like a Harley peg or something. But the cab on these is absolutely amazing. I don't know enough about how well it'll hold up. You know, the Deere, obviously the transmission does not hold up to hard work like this. I don't know about these guys. I don't know. I really like them. It's definitely a possibility in the future. But our next tillage tractor, though, is going to be another four-wheel drive. I know that. Now, we've got a red 245, a green 245, a green 270, a green 195. I mean, there's a lot of other tractors that could be a different shade of green by chance, but yeah. Yeah, I'm going round and round for a little bit. So we've got a quarter here. This is where we finished manure. You guys were with me a couple different times here. So we got the corn here, the hay there, so we're ripping out a full half. They just got water over here yesterday, so the sprinklers started this morning. Still got across the ditch to do. But yeah, we'll sit here and go around and around until he comes back from lunch. Speed up here in this ground. It's amazing how well, he's right though, this thing just, it wants to pull better than the Deere. I'll say that. Friggin' thing just gave me a damn heart attack. It's got an automatic reversing fan. Holy crap, that is loud when it engages. Frickin' homeboy back here with the mohawk is just following me all over the place. I'm paying attention to where I'm going. There's the spot I needed. But yeah, it's not a seagull. He's got a full-on mohawk, but he'll just slowly follow me, trying to find anything I pull out of the ground. I've about hit him like 5 times because he'll get right up next to me. So I've been running this thing a little over an hour now. I now have 2 complaints. One, the GPS. I absolutely hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Look, my little buddy's still here. He'll come running right up next to the tires as I go by because he's psycho like that. But my other complaint is the turning radius. I'm pretty sure an aircraft carrier can turn around tighter than this. Now, the tires are set about as narrow as they can physically go. I mean, look in my mirrors. The outer dual is almost underneath the fender. So, I'm sure if you open it up, you can adjust it to where it'll turn tighter. I'm just saying, right now, this is really hard to get used to turning this narrow. Or turning with the tires this narrow. But because I don't want to screw up the GPS, rather than cleaning up this side of the field, you know, doing the ends and everything, I'm going to jump across the ditch and just keep going in a circle. Because, yeah. Oh yeah, much better. Little food delivery to the field. It's 1:15. And we just kick back and relax while the GPS is cooperating. Well, that was fun. It's Cameron's turn to play with it again. So yeah, I really like the tractor. I don't think I would ever buy that big a horsepower one. If I'm gonna go 300 plus horsepower, I'm just gonna jump up to a 4-wheel drive. Because of the transmission troubles we've had with the deers on tillage. Now, overall about that tractor, like I said, I really like it. I love that cab. It's quiet, super comfortable. I love the controls once you get used to them. The double joysticks is awesome. The GPS is trash. I hate TopCon, always have, always will. We've got that set up to make it simple. He has it set up, there's a line every foot. So that way when you come around, you just get on the closest 1 foot line and go. Several times it was trying to make me move 4 feet over. 4 lines over, because that's the line it wanted me to take. Like, no, you have a GPS line every foot. Why would it ever want you to move more than 1 foot in any direction? There's another line right there. It was trying to make me cross multiple. Completely asinine. And then, like I said, gotta move them wheels out. That tight spacing cannot turn. Alright, we got other things to do. Tally-ho. I'll be damned. It's spittling. Yes, spittling is a word. One thing about this tractor, so Bart he thinks it's got a Trimble system, and Cameron said Trimble. I thought AGCO just used TopCon, so I don't know whether it's TopCon or Trimble. Either way, I still hated it. But I wanted to put a clarification, because I was calling it TopCon earlier. Off the top of my head, I don't know which it is. I thought AGCO used TopCon, but maybe I'm wrong. Still sucked. But after Cameron took over, he did everything he could other than the edges. And we want to wait on the edges till we have the deer back, because then we can actually get them straight and lined up the way we need to, so it's not all screwed up going forward. Because when you're breaking out a field, if you don't do it right the first time, then it's usually 5-6 years before you get a chance to get everything fixed the way it needs to be. So we're waiting until we have ours back. Problem is, deer didn't show up today to work on it. I don't know if the parts still didn't come in or what the deal is. We didn't hear from them. But we finished that one. We've got 2 other fields I want to rip out, but I'm waiting because we're not in a hurry to get any corn planted. They're old alfalfa stands, maybe a 50-60% stand. That's probably too low. 60 or 70% stand. They need tore out. But if we're not going to get any help from Mother Nature, there's no point tearing it out, because, well, crappy hayfields don't blow, and we got a long time before next year's corn planting for things to go completely wrong if you tear it out. So I'm not in a big hurry to tear them out. So I told Cameron, I know we still have demo hours left. let's get that cleaned up and taken back to them, because once it's back on their lot, it's no longer our liability if something happens. So they're calling for, you know, chance of storms tonight, wind blowing like hell the next 2 days. I want that out of our hands. So he's got it washed and cleaned. I'm slowly gaining on him because, well, the tractor does 35 miles an hour. We're taking it back. Ah, we caught him. Right as we get to the dealership. But we caught him. Wonder why that one's out here by itself. Wonder if it's sold or something. Well, as you can see, we got chopper number 2 in here. So wheat harvest has gotten to be a decent harvest this year. It's not going to be great or anything like the last couple of years, but it's going to be pretty decent. We'll have all of ours and 2 different neighbors to cut, so it'll be a short little run. But I think number 2 is more than likely going to be the workhorse, because if we trade one midsummer for a combine, it would be the one to trade. So far, not seeing a whole lot on it. We'll just kind of make a loop here. They're getting this pickup head ready. The other one is already ready. We got it ready last fall, actually, because it was in the way of the corn heads. So we had to order a bunch of parts for it. Deer was a no-show and no call today, so we're not sure what the deal is there. I was really hoping to have that out of here today. Case, parts, hopefully we're going to be in today. But they're an hour away, so we weren't going to go get them anyways if they did come in today. So hopefully Monday we can go get all that stuff, start putting it back together. So far the head, just some pickup teeth, new change, you guys saw it all open. Cutter, the cabinet's open. Need to flip the cutter bar. Teeth are good. They said the rolls felt good, like there wasn't bearings out, so we're thinking we're okay there. Blower bearing on the right hand side, they said had a little play in it. They were going to get the dial indicator on it to see if it needed changed. But other than that, it's actually damn near ready to go. But then again, it missed half a fall harvest because of the pump that went out. This is the one that I thought lit on fire one day when Cameron was driving it, because the hydraulic pump back here went out. Let me turn right there. That chunk of green paint, that's all new. But yeah, hopefully not a whole lot here. Oh, and obviously get rid of the lung spout. Put the shorty back on. As far as cattle go, they're getting along pretty good right now. We got a big day Tuesday. Tuesday we shipped 6 loads, 360 head, headed to the finisher. So we will have a lot of cattle to move around then after that. We're kind of maxed out right now, so that'll give us a breather for about a week, because the way we've been able to buy lately, that won't take any time at all to replace them. Alright guys, I'm going to go home. Night 2 of the NFL draft. Go see how far Shadur falls. We'll catch you in the next one.